April. All right. This is the apartment that I live in now. All right. So, in case anybody's wondering, like, where am I at and stuff. All right. Been living here since like the end of November, beginning of December. Video topic. All right. Guru Jojo, by the way. Here to send out a divine message, all right? That's all. So, if you don't really prefer watching or listening, I also have my Metamuse.medium account where I have this information available. I wrote an article about this as well, this particular topic, okay? All right, it is quite windy outside, so if you hear that in the background, yes, that's the wind. So anyways, I actually just restored power. Like, the power literally was out for a couple hours, and it actually really wasn't that bad, but it was like an hour or two or whatever. Now we got our power back, right? I got the power. All right, get myself together. This is about how to really stay in tune with yourself, be connected to yourself, feel a sense of togetherness, right? Despite others, all right? Despite other people, right? Despite your actual surroundings. Because at the end of the day, we notice that we can be surrounded by friends and family, and we can still feel lonely or by ourselves in some sort of way. You know what I'm saying? We could still feel connected or lonely. We could be by ourselves and still feel very connected because electronics, we have our phones that keep us connected. This is electronic, air, energy, and whatnot, right? We have our computers, we have internet, we have Wi-Fi, we have all these things to keep us connected with others all the time. So as a result, we never really feel a need to establish a sense of togetherness because we're in an illusion, to be completely honest, that we're connected, even when we're not. From early childhood, adolescence, and whatnot, we are taught our connections. Our parents teach us this, and it makes sense. Like, when we're young, we end up going to school, so it's authority figures controlling our sense of connection for the most part. All right, this is what happens. We end up being controlled by what our authority figures controlled. So, for example, whether it be you had assigned seats, this is now providing the structure for your sense of connection to others. If you had assigned seats in school, if you, your belief systems and things like that, and if you're involved in sports, if you're male, you're female, things are co-ed or whatever, this is influencing our sense of connection. But then what happens is we get older and we kind of start to follow these same structures. So we kind of stay friends with the people that we were friends with. We may pick certain friends based upon interest. Actually, our interests end up getting influenced by these structures that our authority figures influence, which influence our connections, which influence our interests. So to be honest with you, we never really get that opportunity. We do get the opportunity, actually, to tune in with ourselves of who we really are to establish that sense of connection. We end up just going back to a structured connection. Like, a lot of people don't know how to kind of like tune back in with themselves, with the elements. Instead, people sort of choose to sort of like jump back into something else that seems comfortable, that seems familiar. Like, and then what they notice is that they attract the same type of people in the same vibration, and the relationship may not work, the community may not work, your sense of belongingness may not work. There's something that happens, the structure is not strong enough for it to maintain, and then they move into something else that feels similar, right? And it's still the same low vibrational energy. So it doesn't work. They move it. Stop just trying to jump into something. This is why I'm saying this is important, because this is what people do. If it wasn't important, why do people do this? Why do people stay in situations where they feel like shit, nothing's improving? They stay because the sense of belongingness is important. Why do people allow for something to end and then jump right back into something that's just exactly the same with a weak vibration? Because the sense of belongingness is important. So that's what I'm saying. Don't try to be corny and be like, oh my god, this, who cares about this? Like, because y'all care about it. That's the reason why you experience this stupid energy frequencies, these stupid attractions and stuff, because it's the fact of the matter, it's the connection, it's the mentality of feeling lonely, the mentality of feeling together, a sense of belongingness. It's just a mind state. It's really not a reality. Get in tune with the elements. You won't keep attracting these low vibrational type of energies. And if you do, it's like you know how to handle it, that it won't really affect your sense of self-esteem, your sense of self-worth. So, with that being said, all right, we all sort of go through a particular time in our lives, right, where we are put into a space of isolation. Some people experienced it when they had COVID and they had a quarantine. Other people experience it when there's a lot of changes that happen in life that call for you to simply have to be by yourself. And the problem is, like I was saying, is when we experience this, we tend to just want to have something else to grab onto really fast. Like, we're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm lonely, I'm by myself, I don't know what to do. I need to, like, grab this, grab that, like somebody, the phone, like the computer, like, we need something to feel connected again. And then we'll find it. Low vibrational shit finds stuff. It's just that it's low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that, okay, your higher vibration you are, the more you're going to attract. No, low vibrational energies attract stuff all the time. It's just that it's low vibrational. So at the end of the day, you'll find it and it's going to be low vibrational. You're not going to be happy. It's going to be the same type of like situations you've been going through that cause you to be by yourself. That's the reason why you're by yourself already right now. You know what I'm saying? So we have been taught to keep fulfilling this space of loneliness. And so what happens is we end up constantly looking for something to attach to again. Now, what I'm trying to explain is that to find that sense of togetherness within yourself so you never feel lonely is when you get the opportunity, I'm calling it an opportunity, to be by yourself, to be in isolation, actually reconnect with yourself by reconnecting to the elements, all right? And there's various ways of doing this. Now, before I get into the ways to actually reconnect with the elements, understand how the elements are actually showing you where your weaknesses sort of are. So, for example, a lot of times things that are like there's a misalignment with like the earth element, fire element, and whatnot. You'll notice, earth and air. It could be fire element too, whatever. Earth, air, fire, you could be out of alignment with the spirit element. But a lot of times, fire and air kind of go together because it's like when you notice like your thoughts, the air element, is not in tune with your actions. So it just doesn't make sense. Now, there are circumstances where it calls for you to not be in alignment like that. It calls for you because it's like sometimes you have to manipulate energy in that way. I apologize if I am kind of like speaking too quickly in this video. It seems like I'm trying to get it, because I kind of am, because I don't know if the power is going to go back out again or whatever. Because if the power go out again, the lighting's not going to be good enough for me to do the video. So anyways, when the air element is not together, what tends to happen is you'll notice the things you're thinking is too much out of tune with your passions, your intentions, and your actions and what you're like showing others. And then you'll get mad about it. All right. You'll get mad about it because you'll be like, I'm thinking this way, or I feel this way, that's going to be the water element. How you feel, and then your thoughts is more of the air element, but you're noticing your actions are not meeting up to those standards. It just doesn't make sense. This is where you have to kind of like rebalance, reconnect back with those elements, the fire, element, the air element, and possibly the water element. Do your feelings make sense? Are your actions, and then you start to wonder, oh, is it my actions that make more sense? Is that the truth, or that's the truth? They're all the truth. It's just that you need to figure out, why things are out of alignment, because it's almost like you're like, that's like actually elemental tripping. Like your elements are tripping. They're tripping out because you think a certain way, but you're not acting a certain way. And then you may not be feeling a certain way too, or how you feel is in alignment with what you're thinking, but it's not your actions. So it could be that, the air and the water element are so strong or are not powerful enough to maintain an influence on your actions, meaning that any sudden change can happen in your environment to throw your actions off, which means that those elements are not strong enough to have power and influence, the proper power, influence, and control over your actions, if that makes sense. So it's almost like actually a sign that you may need to get better control of the air and the water element. Your emotions and feelings may not be strong enough for you to actually properly facilitate the right actions. So then what happens is you most likely work on all the elements, to be honest. But and one of the best ways to quickly work on all the elements is simply by being in silence, being quiet, or putting on meditative music and just lighting a candle. The candle is and it is a representation of the earth element because it's a solid thing. Then you got the flame, which is fire. The wind is always around you. You'll see that representation through the flame, right? And then you have liquid is basically almost like the water element. The problem is that this is very fast energy. Like it doesn't last. Like it's very quick because obviously the liquid melts into a solid very quickly and whatnot. But you get my point. Like it's expression of all the elements, and then that steam or that's whatever when I'm talking about the smoke that rises, that's like a representation of spirit and whatnot. So you have to figure out what combination works for you. Candle is not gonna just heal all the elements like right away, but it is a good tool to have. Anyways, so that's like an example, earth element being out of tune with the earth element. It's difficult to be stable. It's difficult to feel secure in life. Lack of security, right? Problem saving money, or there can be a lot of frugalness, all right, to a certain extent. Stubbornness. Maybe you're not reliable. You notice you don't attract reliable people. Earth element is messed up. It's funny too. A lot of people don't judge things by these outdated stereotypes. Like some homeless people, to be honest with you, are more connected to the earth element than like some of these rich people. Sometimes they're not even rich. It's just like some homeless people, they might always have around $300. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of like maintain that cash flow. And things don't really change to an extreme. But some people have a lot of money, but they have like a lot of like dips in their account and stuff like that. Like that's a lack of connection to the earth element. Get you out in nature. Like, a lot of people tell you walk barefoot. But get connected back with nature, plants, animals, having pets, plants in your crib, in your house. All that stuff is good for the earth element, to be completely honest. Because it's that give and take, that exchange of oxygen and all that stuff with the plants, and animals are very connected with nature for the most part. So being in tune and connected with animals is really good. Having pets, but you have to treat them. Like, you can't just let me just get this pet just so I can connect to the earth element. No, you have to take care of these things. You can't just, those are living things. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Because the earth element's important. You'll notice, like, for some reason you just don't feel stable or whatever. Like, you have these ideas, but they never really come into fruition or something like that. Like, something's not right with the earth element. All right. Now, in addition to this, let's talk about, let's see what element we can talk about water or whatever. So water element, there's a lack of acknowledgement of one's own emotions, emotional security, as well as others. So one could be too involved in the emotions of others or not involved enough to the point that they lack the involvement with their own emotional security, or they're too involved in their own emotional issues. Water element's messed up. Again, this could be something where you feel a certain type of way, but you notice that like the actions aren't good. Most likely that's a problem with the fire element though, which I've already discussed. So for the water element, there's a couple things you can do when you feel a disconnect with the water element. One of the things that you can do is you could drink water. You could swim, go to the beach, go in the ocean. You can literally just like, you can do so much because you can literally like take water and just like, whatever you're doing, you can watch TV and just like, probably just like take a cup of water or something like that, contain it, and literally just sort of like just leave it there and like just tune in with that water. And you can even ask to like remove bad emotions and feelings and like remove that water. But it's good to like soak your feet and stuff. And I'm just like, I have to like do my hair. It's like, I don't know, it's bothering me in this video, but whatever, it's life. So I apologize if I'm like being weird or whatever. Like, it's not vain or anything. Like literally, y'all have no idea. So anyways, yeah, so that's a way to get connected with the water element or whatever. You can take showers and stuff too, obviously. Like, you should just do that because it's just like cleanliness. But, I mean, the water element is something you can really tune in for meditation too. Like, because it can remind you of how you should be feeling at any given moment. You know? I definitely think singing is a great way too, to tune in with the element of water. Probably watching something emotional. But in general, the water element's something you can tune in with just by simply engaging in water, like engaging with water in some sort of way. Okay. And connecting with it in a more mindful way, like rather than like, just like washing in it, like actually like feel that water, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyways, that's the water element and everything. Air element's something that you can reconnect to by simply, you could play music, play instruments, you could sing too, you can journal, meditation's great. Even like going outside and taking a walk is like really good too, or like maybe light jog or something. A lot of people, we naturally try to connect with the air element by driving. Ever see people drive like nowhere? If you ever had an experience where you go out for a drive, but you really don't even go anywhere, that is you trying to connect to that element of air, low key. All right, so keep that in mind too. Communicating is a great way. Obviously, we use our phones. You could talk, text, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's another way to connect with the air element. Again, I wrote an article about this there, and I have like tips out on how to like, like little different ways to connect back with each element. That's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if I should go over the spirit one. The element of spirit is something that we can connect to better once we're in tune with all the other elements. But with spirit, it's really, meditation is going to be very important to connect with this element of spirit for the most part. All right. Another way to probably connect with spirit is by simply, your vibration has to be at a certain level. So there's times, divine timing is very important when connecting with spirit as well. But more spiritually inclined people have a tendency of connecting with spirit. So, like I said, that's why things like meditation is very important. Um, so, anyways, if you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll leave the link for the article that I wrote on this topic as well. All right, with this, connecting with the elements will help you to always feel a sense of belongingness no matter what. And it strengthens your sense of belongingness when you're actually together with others. And also when you're actually independent by yourself. This strengthens your independent skills. This makes you less dependent. And this also, helps you in times of isolation to feel a sense of togetherness without having to rush to social media and be attached to things like social media. You will feel a sense of connection, and people will see that from you, and so blessings, light, and love. Thank you for watching.